Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the witnesses for being here today. My first question is to Ms. May, and that is, what advice did you provide the Minister on study permits regarding the impact on housing and asylum claims and employment and food bank usage, things like that?
So if I understood correctly, you wanted to know what advice we had provided in advance of the reforms to inform.
I'm thinking you have a new minister, and did the department provide advice to them regarding the impact on study permits on things like housing, asylum claims, et cetera?
I think as I mentioned during my opening remarks, a lot of the reform measures were introduced in 2024, and therefore we're at the stage right now where we're really starting to see some of the early results of those reforms. So one of the objectives of the reforms...
That's not exactly what I was looking for, but let's go a different direction. I do have some questions related to the department's understanding of the situation on the ground in Canada and how that impacts recommendations that are made to the minister. So regarding study permit holders and postgraduate work permit holders, what was the IRCC forecast for the number of asylum inflows attributable to study permit holders and postgraduate work permit holders?
So in terms of the impact to asylum claims, I'm happy to report that this year alone, overall, the overall asylum intake has actually dropped by over 30%. And in that, in terms of the student numbers, there's been a corresponding decrease as well, at least until the end of July 2025.
So does the department track the number of study permit holders and postgraduate work permit holders that claim asylum?
We would be able to track the permit or the status that they held prior to the time that they claimed asylum.
Okay, could you table that information with the committee? The number of study permit holders or postgraduate work permit holders that claim asylum by, let's say, by year?
By year?
By the year
yeah,
for the last 2
I
years.
believe that information is, this is the precise data. So there were actually 40% less asylum claims made by students in July 2025.
I'm looking for a number, though.
Yeah, I'm giving the number of 1,586 compared to December 2024, 2,640.
Okay, so of all study permits expiring in each month since January 1st, 2024, what percentage of former holders filed asylum claims?
Well, the statistics that I just provided you would be study permit holders who claimed asylum.
Okay, let's try this. What are the top 10 nationalities among former students or PGWP holders now claiming asylum? And what primary grounds are being cited?
I wouldn't have, we would be able to provide to you the nationality in terms of the claim type or the grounds of claim. That would be available through the Immigration Refugee Board.
Did you say you would not be able to provide the nationality?
We would be able to.
Okay, so can you please do that? You can submit that to us after the fact,
okay.
But that would be good information. Since January 2024, how many removal orders have been issued to former students or PGWP holders making asylum claims? And how many were stayed due to active claims or appeals by month?
That would be under the mandate of the CBSA, but I'm not sure if you want.
Yeah, as my colleague mentioned, that would numbers of removals specific to study permits would be under CBSA's purview. However, I understand that they did affect overall 18,000 removals in 2024. I don't have the percentage of what were students.
So the department doesn't know how many removals were from student study permit holders. Is that what you're saying?
IRCC does not track that data, as it's the mandate of the Canada Border Services Agency.
How many work-eligible asylum claimants who are former students or PGWP holders obtain open work permits while claims are pending?
Just to confirm, Madam Chair, PGWP is an open work permit, so I'm not sure if I would be answering the question that's being sought.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Since January 2024, how many study permit holders transitioned to postgraduate work permits, and what share remained in the original study region versus moved to another province?
I would be able to answer part of that question. What I can tell you is that we've had in 2025 new PGWP, or 2024, the new PGWP holders were 200,000. And that's a decrease from the previous year of 15%.
What share of them remained in their original study region versus moved?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What share remained in their original study region versus moved to a different region?
A quick
I
response,
wouldn't,
please.
I
Ms. Park.
don't have that information on me today.
IRC does not have that, or you just don't have it with you?
It would have to be a special request to gain that information.
Can you provide that to the committee?
Yep.
Okay, and can I just confirm one thing that
We're at 6 minutes and 30
this
seconds.
is more of a point of order. Things that we request from the committee, can I ask that they be submitted within 28 working calendar days, please?
The request can be made, and I think they'll do their best to do that with that time frame. Okay, thank you, Mr. Redekop. Thank you, Ms. Park.